Ladies and gents, welcome to UX, and this is alcohol is amazing. Okay, by Chankas is in a nutshell. This video was posted 3-4 days ago. It's about alcohol. Okay, this is one topic that I think you'll have more to say than I would, I guess. Obviously, scientifically, I would know something about this, but like I don't touch alcohol. Alcohol is one of the most common substance there is in the world. But I never did, and after that, I became very health conscious, bodybuilding and everything. So I never touched it. Cigarette or nothing. I don't touch that shit. So I don't know. I think I know general, like layoff, like how alcohol works scientifically and how devastating it can be. But yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing some stats or maybe more. Maybe there are misconceptions about alcohol that we don't know about. Yeah, let's watch this one.
Alcohol is the most harmful substance on Earth. Every year, it kills more people than terrorism, wars, homicides, and car accidents combined. It injures tens of millions.
What?
Wars, homicides, and car accidents combined.
This stat alone is so fucked up. Terrorism, okay, how many can there be? Wars are popping up a lot. How does war number smaller than a homicide? How many homicides happens then? Damn! Car accident is one of those things like we know about. Like, yes, that shit happens a lot. Alcohol kills more than car accidents? Okay, this right out of the bat, 10 seconds in, and I'm already blown up. Like, this is insane. I didn't know alcohol was that at that fucking level. More than car accidents.
It injures tens of millions in accidents, violence, and crime, while keeping hundreds of millions trapped in disease. If it didn't exist already, inventing it today would be unthinkable. And yet, more than 2 billion people drink. Most of us can't imagine a barbecue without beer, a wedding without wine, or a fancy soiree without champagne. We have a drink at the weekend because it's the weekend, but also after work, when
That stat is not so accurate, I think. First of all, 2 billion isn't 1 in 4. You need to see the age gap, like anybody below 18. Like, come on, really? We can't count kids into this one. And very old people as well, like they can't drink even if they wanted to. Some of them do. And a lot of people who drink might lie about it. I'm not, by the way, before you say anything. I'm not. I don't have to. So why would I lie? So yeah, I think a lot of people drink, right? But there are many places in India and places where like it's religiously, and not, I don't know about religiously, but like people just frown upon alcohol. And since India is like 1.4 billion people, that might change the metric a lot. But generally, in most countries, most people drink. It's one of the oldest thing there is, I guess. So yeah.
we're stressed and when we're relaxed, sad and happy, at home and outside. Alcohol is kind of a paradox. Why do we cling so much to the thing that harms us the most? You after one drink. Alcohol is a biological weapon that yeast produces during fermentation to wipe out its competition. In alcoholic drinks, it's mixed with water and flavored with everything from fruits to caramel. With just one sip, sextillions of alcohol molecules flood your stomach and small intestine. From there, they head to your liver, your primary detox center, and to other organs like the brain. But your liver can only process about one sip of beer every 5 minutes, so unless you drink really slowly, it will become overwhelmed while an ever-growing swarm floods your brain. Here's where the chaos begins. The legion of intruders fills your brain and starts messing with neurotransmitters and receptors. Their sabotage is so complex that scientists aren't fully sure yet about all their mechanisms. But we know that alcohol numbs your neurons, making them slower, and disrupts their communication.
Scientists are not sure because it's not easy to know about human body. Nobody's gonna give themselves give themselves up as guinea pigs. People are like, why don't we know about much brain? Okay, a live person testing brain. Who's gonna volunteer? Let's go. Who's gonna volunteer? No one. Shit like that. Like, yeah, there is like we need to like study people indirectly, and that's how we have a lot of studies nowadays based on things, right? So people are always like, oh, science. What the fuck does science know? Like, they don't know anything. Yeah, it's not that simple. It's like people aren't going to volunteer for this, so that's why we don't know.
This has several effects. It sedates you, melting away tension and stress. It stuns your prefrontal cortex, your center for decision-making and self-control, making you more disinhibited and prone to say or do things that you normally wouldn't. And it releases endorphins, feel-good molecules deeply tied to human connection. The chemicals that we produce when we laugh, sing or dance with others, and which help us turn fleeting moments into shared memories.
Yeah, I think how sure are we that it releases endorphin and isn't like a secondary effect? Because alcohol is intoxicating, right? It basically suppresses a lot of like stress and anxiety and basically numbs you up in a lot of way. It affects your prefrontal cortex, like it says. So, like it could be secondary effect, because if one goes down, other thing has to come out, or like one thing could suppress the other thing naturally. So if you remove one thing, other thing would like pop up. This is why a lot of like opiates and things basically also make you feel good, because mechanism is kind of the same.
So, after a drink or three, the world doesn't only feel lighter, it feels lighter with others. The invisible walls of insecurity around us begin to soften, and you find yourself becoming a little more you. Less afraid to talk, laugh, sing, or share joys and sorrows. Conversations flow easier, smiles last a little longer, and strangers can become friends or lovers more easily. So, for a while, it feels like the weight of being human isn't yours to carry alone. Alcohol sits at a sweet spot of gentle relaxation, mild courage, and friendly companionship that makes it the perfect social lubricant. One that comes with quite a few costs. Your body on regular drinking. For billions, these rounds become more frequent over time. The occasional drink becomes a weekly habit, then a ritual every other day, catching up with friends or unwinding. And there's always this buddy who drinks way more and has a perfectly normal life. But as the rounds add up over years, the damage builds up. The alcohol molecule can dissolve in water and fat, which allows it to invade almost every cell and tissue. And when your body breaks it down, it transforms into acetaldehyde, a chemical that's even more toxic than alcohol itself and that wreaks havoc on your tissues, cells, and DNA. In your brain, this shrinks your neurons and severs their connections, making it harder for different parts of the brain to communicate. As your brain withers, your memories fade, your thinking slows down, and your risk of dementia increases. When and how you drink matters. The younger you are, the wider the damage, and the more you drink in one go, the worse you'll make it. The human brain isn't fully wired until your mid-20s, so drinking before that age is like smashing wet cement before it's set. In 20-year-olds, blackout drinking episodes have been found to cause mental problems for up to a year, forgetting why you entered a room or having difficulty learning new things. Binge drinking in late adolescence is also one of the highest risk factors for...
Yeah, but this is one of those things, like everybody who goes to college, again, asterisk on top, usually drinks in their teen years, apparently. But these are the same people who crushes in PhDs a lot of times. Like they get their doctorate. Like ask anybody who has PhD right now, anybody, right? Brian Greene, Neil deGrasse Tyson, anybody, right? Just ask them, like, did you drink when you were in your college years? They're like, yeah, we had drinks, we had fun, we had beers and all that, beer pong and all that shit. Yeah, but these people are also smartest. And a lot of people drink. A lot of people don't drink like me, and I'm not some like, I'm not some smart or something. I'm a moron. So like, this is like one of those things, like there has to be like more study on it before you can come up with some kind of emergence, like how much effect does it have at that level. But obviously any damage is damage, like we should not like take that lightly, but how much does it really affect your intelligence?
early onset dementia. Then there's cancer. Just as smoking hits your lungs, alcohol causes 8 types of cancer, basically everywhere from mouth to bowel, plus breast cancer in women. Here, risks start at an average consumption of less than 1 glass of wine per day. Beyond that, risks increase. Worldwide, alcohol causes around 740,000.
Yeah, that's because it's not telling you. It's never just 1 cup of wine, 1 glass of wine. It never is that. Don't bullshit us. It's
New
never
cancer
one.
cases per year, leading to 400,000 deaths. Another victim is your liver. Alcohol disrupts
victim.
fat metabolism, causing fat to build up in your liver cells. But this often has no symptoms, so you may go on drinking as your liver slowly turns to fat, swells with inflammation, and starts to fail. The final stage is cirrhosis. Your liver is
Cirrhosis,
full
that's
of
fucked up.
scars and barely functioning. This might take over 10 years, but once it appears, it's largely irreversible. Every
Yeah, there are many problems our organs have that are just fucked out. Cirrhosis is one of those things. Like, obviously, alcohol is one big factor, but like there could be other factors involved as well. This is one of those things. You know, like people say, like never Google any medical thing, otherwise you'll just panic type of shit. There's many organ damage that somehow goes hidden until it's too late, type of thing. This is one of them, right? Usually, a lot of cancers are also like that. Usually goes hidden until it's a problem. You can have like certain spine issues. It won't manifest until you see something like scarring or something, or like blackening skin around your mid back or something. There are many shit like this. Like most people don't know about this and they go about their life until it's too late type of shit. When you think about that, it panics you. Like, well, what the fuck? That's enough for internet right now type of thing, because all you can do is close your eyes. Otherwise, everything will look like a big symptoms. You have a fever. Oh my God, you might have cancer. No, you don't. It's just a fever. So this is one of those things where doctor also get pissed off. Like, stop Googling shit, man. Just like, I know what I'm doing.
year, 600,000 people die because they have a liver destroyed by alcohol. Drinking also weakens your heart, raises blood pressure, and increases the risk of stroke and thrombosis, leading to another 500,000 deaths from cardiovascular diseases every year. In terms of looks too, alcohol damages cells around your body, including your skin, which looks older.
Yeah, the blood pressure thing is big one. I don't think people realize how big that is. I've seen certain people I know of, friends, why not? Acquaintances, I don't know. I know of people whose blood pressure is usually around like 150 by 95 or some shit like that. They are like younger than me, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How is this even a thing? And obviously they drink, they smoke and all that. I don't think people realize, like, if you're like under 30 or around 30, if this is the shit that you're working with, 150 blood pressure and shit like that, this is too big, man. You're literally in your like untouchable phase. From now on, it's just gonna get harder. In your 30s, late 30s, 40s, 50s. If you're like this now, like, you need to do something. Like, you can't go on like this shit. I hear about a lot of people in 20s die of stroke. This is what it is. That's what blood pressure does. If your resting blood pressure goes over like 180, 190, yeah, stroke is much more easy after that shit, right? This is resting, by the way. Just like if you're resting and if that's the case, blood pressure goes up and down like if you do some physical activity and shit, but resting one, right? So if your blood pressure is that high, like, yeah, and stroke is really effed up. Like, you might survive a heart attack. Stroke is something like, it's pretty sure you're not gonna survive. Even if you survive, you didn't survive because now you're gonna have like permanent damages. Your brain is you. Your heart is your engine. Your heart, you can say like your heart is not you. Your brain is you. What makes you you? Your consciousness, whatever you want to say, it is your brain. If you have brain damage, like you as a person is damaged now, you can't think certain things. You can't feel certain things. You'll change drastically. How you feel, how you think. Before you were a calm person, now you might be suddenly aggressive because of the damage. You don't want to fuck with blood pressure, man. That's one thing. And I think people, like, obviously I exercise, I have blood pressure machine just cause. But I think people should keep blood pressure machine. Like, it's cheap. It's somewhat decently accurate. If you have Japanese or some machine like that from Japan, it's going to be somewhat accurate. Like, this is important. Like, blood pressure is one of those things that people really negate. This is kind of fucked up, man.
Sooner. And not only does alcohol contain a lot of calories itself, it also makes many people very hungry. Drinking is a huge source of weight gain and increases the risk of obesity, opening the door to a cascade of other health problems. When scientists crunch these numbers, they see that health problems can start at about 1 beer a day, and that the chances of premature death start rising significantly at around 3 beers a day for men and less than 2 for women. If this sounds like a lot to you, maybe look around. In the EU, the average man drinks the equivalent of almost 3 beers a day. The average woman, almost 1. Similar figures apply to much of the world, especially the West. There's no other drug we consume that gets so close to the edge of harm. It isn't only your body. Alcohol is unique for another.
Dude, alcohol is the only thing that is like a brain chemical changing substance. It's the only thing that is like allowed, let's just say, or like socially accepted. And of course, it's going to go close to the toxicity, because anything else, like, like pain pills, and from that and above, white things and all that. I don't want to say in detail here. All those things are frowned upon, right? People abuse pain things, and yeah, this again is frowned upon, is illegal, right? Alcohol is the only thing that is like close to all that, but it's like legal. So the point is effect on the body, right? Anybody who's taken pain things would realize like their mood suddenly changes. Their body's smallest ache they had is no longer there. You just feel light, nimble. You just feel happy because it also like triggers that, endorphins things, right? Or, opioids, I don't even want to say that, but fine. Opioids and all that, right? It triggers that in your brain and it just makes you feel good, right? That's what those pills do. But those are frowned upon. Alcohol does something similar in that way, like because I already explained. Like it makes you feel good, it decreases your pain and increases your pain tolerance, right? It makes you like just enough that you're like confident, no anxiety, right? All of things. So it just becomes like one of those things. Like, why would I not take this? It's legal type of shit. So of course, like this is gonna be abused.
Another reason, its unmatched ability to destroy others. Alcohol causes a staggering amount of accidents. The numbness and disinhibition of a few drinks can morph you into a clumsy critter eager to take really stupid risks on a balcony, at sea, or on the road. Every year, alcohol-fueled accidents kill 500,000.
The road thing is much worse. Okay, wait a minute. That makes sense. So alcohol deaths might be so high than car accidents because a lot of like DUI related things, they count as alcohol and not car accidents. Won't they count as car accidents as well? I don't know. But yeah, the alcohol and driving thing, that's just fucked up. If you want to do harm to yourself, like, okay, don't do it, but it's your life. If you want to do, if you deliberately do harm to others, that kind of pisses me off. And this should be much more stronger around the world, everywhere. Like, much more stronger socially and like law-wise, much more restriction behind it. Like, don't fucking do this type of thing. You drink, you drive, and then hurt somebody else, multiple people. How the fuck is that? Like, that's just insane to me, right? That's too fucked up.
1,000 people, 300,000 of them in car accidents. But more than half of the people who died in those crashes didn't drink. They just died because someone else did. Alcohol is also one of the major causes of violence, from fights at the pub to domestic abuse, other brutal assaults, and murder. Figures differ by country, but essentially 50% of all violent crime and sexual assault is committed by drunk offenders. Each year, alcohol-fueled crime...
Correlation, causation, like, again, I don't like this. How was the stat taken? If most people drink, of course, people who need to calm their nerves because they're going to do some crime are going to drink. If there was no alcohol, would these people not do crime? Maybe very small portion of that, but I don't think that, people are not going to cause homicide because they drank. They had other reasons to do that homicide. Like, alcohol is not the only driver. It just calms them up, right? I don't know. Like, yeah, obviously that is like one of those like helping substances. But then again, this is why people drink. Whether you want to do harm or not, people try to calm their nerves. So I don't know if you can attribute that to alcohol. So this could inflate the stats. I don't know.
Crime kills about 100,000 people. That's a city like Pisa being massacred every year by a drunk mob. And then you have all the non-lethal victims. In England alone, 500,000 adults are injured every year in accidents caused by drunk people. Another 800,000 get hurt in violent attacks by drunk offenders. Zoomed out to the rest of the drinking world, this means that every year dozens of millions are physically harmed by someone else's drinking. The most innocent by...
Again, like I said, would these people not do these things if they didn't drink? Like, again, we can't know that. Like, maybe if they didn't drink, maybe there would be that Jim Jeffries bit, right? Like, it was a gun bait, but I guess it could imply to this one, like, if enough time passes, like, you're fine, and might not attack them. Just that way, like, if they didn't drink alcohol, they might not get amped up so much, and maybe it's fine. Maybe I don't want to hurt somebody in a hassle with the court and the law. Maybe. Or maybe those numbers would drastically drop down if there was no alcohol. But then again, like, we can't know that. So I don't know about this stat, man.
Bystanders are the 600,000 babies born every year with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, a devastating lifelong condition caused by drinking during pregnancy.
Who the
Alcohol
fuck?
is nothing short of a global catastrophe.
Look, if you're pregnant and you drink, fuck you. Like, I don't know, man. It's 9 months, right? It's 9 months is not 9 years. Come on. This like you can't even like like manage that shit. I don't know. And like you choose to have kids. Again, there are extreme scenarios without going to detail where you don't choose to have drink, or especially in America where like any planned parenthood is getting banned. Very specific scenario, but at the global scale, you choose to have kids. You cannot. You can say like 9 months. I'm not gonna touch the drink. Even if you do that, like what the fuck?
The final toll, the hijacking of 400 million lives. When your drinking escalates to a point that it causes real harm to yourself or others, you've crossed the invisible line to alcoholism. An estimated 400 million people, 1 in 14 adults, are in this territory. The line is very fuzzy and varies from person to person, but if you consistently drink 8 beers per week as a woman, 15 as a man, or 5 on the same day, you've either crossed the line or are dangerously walking towards it. Of those 400 million, more than half have fallen into an even deeper trap, dependence. When alcohol has become something that you physically or psychologically need. In Europe and the Americas, 1 in 20 adults are caught in this web. The stereotype of alcoholism is one of extremes. A homeless person clutching a bottle or an always drunk father shouting at his kids. But it can be far more silent. A US
Again, two dependencies, right? People don't know this, they sometimes mistakes it, but there is like a emotional slash psychological dependency, and there's a physical dependency. Physical is when you like, if you stop it, you start to sweat, you start to have like chills and things. The real physical, like like real CNS responses. Your body might feel like it's burning, it might give you shock, and all this like it's configuring itself because you stop doing things. These are real physical symptoms, which is a real thing. You need rehab for that shit, or somebody, or people who love you who would basically help you through this shit. And there is like psychological thing, like if you stop physically, nothing's gonna happen to you, but psychologically, we don't just live physically, we live psychologically, right? So it's just like, maybe like my life is shit, like pressure of the family is on top of me. I don't know, like there are a million things people have to worry about. Gives them anxiety. It's I hear about rich people, rich celebrities all the time. Just say no. Yeah, okay. Say that with your Rolls Royce. Why not? Most people have million different problems. When you really process them, understand them, you're like, yeah, yes, I understand. None of these are excuses, obviously. In the end of the day, you need to be strong enough. World is fucked up. You need to be strong enough to say no. But there are real, tangible, things, right? So this could be psychological. Maybe for now, I'll stop tomorrow. And this always goes on. So this is a psychological thing. But if you've gone to the physical one, you don't even need to worry about psychological thing because it's there. But you need to worry about physical thing now because you've gone one step above.
A study found that up to 50% of all alcoholics may fly under the radar. They come in 2 main groups: unproblematic young adults and middle-aged professionals with successful careers and families. As one of them, you'll show no antisocial behavior. You'll fulfill your obligations. You'll probably have no diagnosed health conditions. But on average, you'll be having 4 beers a day and will get drunk every week. And neither you nor your family may notice. No one questions a drink at dinner, after work, or at a party. But it's exactly that makes alcohol so dangerous. No other drug is so widely accepted, casually consumed, and easily ignored. So, okay, how did we come to this?
Imagine same thing, but like somebody popped some pills after food. What the fuck? Everybody would just raise an eyebrow. But alcohol, yeah, it's fine. It's accepted because my daddy and his daddy used to drink it. So fine, that kind of shit.
A pact with the devil. We made a pact with alcohol to help us solve one of the greatest challenges of being human. Human interaction is messy. We long for closeness, but we're also anxious, awkward, and wary of each other. Am I talking too much? Do they actually like me? What if I say something stupid? There are many ways to navigate this. Alcohol is not the solution, but it is definitely one of them. It is a real and effortless solution to the problem of connecting with others. Studies confirm what we've known for millennia. Modest quantities of alcohol help strangers bond. And individuals who drink moderately and socially tend to have more friends, closer friendships, and
Yeah, obviously, like everything's gonna have like upsides. I'm pretty sure Coca-Cola, and I'm not talking about Coca-Cola, also makes you productive. Let's just say I've heard people say like I wrote songs while being on that. People have get their work done who otherwise wouldn't have because they were like literally depressed. The word depressed isn't some just word. It physically depresses you if it's strong enough. Like it's, I don't want to do this because it's like it physically hurts for me to stand up. It's that level of depression. So there are many instances where people who do Coca-Cola have like done real work, physical work, wrote books, did things, whatever, like they have like done, like many jobs, right? Like, writing books and like writing songs, they're famous things, but even like every day, an architect draw, like, like came up with a certain plan. But he had so many like, pressure from everywhere. He couldn't do it, but now like he did. Like there's so many stories like that. So every drug has that upside. Doesn't mean you should do it though, right? Like this is the thing. Like everything's gonna have upside, right? Even human waste is good for fertilizing, but it's still human waste. So yeah.
And higher levels of trust in others. So if we want to step away from alcohol, we need to be honest about what we gain from it. For millennia, we've been giving it our health and years of our lives. And in return, alcohol gave us confidence, connection, and celebration. But right now, this is changing rapidly. Younger generations, and especially Gen Z, are drinking far less than their parents did. In the US, the share of 18-year-olds who have ever tried alcohol has dropped by 25% in the last decades. Binge drinking in adult...
Okay. Is this... Again, I'm going to get hate. But people say Gen Z's lives are so fucked up. Is it? Why is alcohol going down then? Soviet Union had one of the worst living conditions of all time. They had one of the highest alcohol consumption of all time. Vodkas and shit. If you take the same metric, if it's lower in Gen Z's, are your life really hard? Playing PlayStation, playing gacha games. Really? I remember like Undertaker talking about like how he used to just sit in a front of an office for 8 hours every single day for 9 or so months before he even got his chance to go wrestle. In today's world, people just get contract, go to like performance centers, NXT, WWE, just like people playing PlayStation, like playing Doom. Okay, like there's nothing like this. It's good the life gets better, but let's just acknowledge that shit is getting better. This doesn't apply to everyone. Obviously, somebody just like, as I'm saying, comment down, my life is shit. I get it, right? Like, I get it. In general, come on, right? All the stats are decreasing of all the bad shit. Poverty is slowly getting slower and slower. Before, when Biden was around, obviously this is not pro-Biden, by the way, this is recent time when the poll was taken. Don't come after me. But everything was down. Crime was down, right? Slowly, like everything was increasing. People were slowly getting less poor. So I'm guessing currently that's the same case. Nobody's taken poll, but I'm going to guess when they do take it, it's going to have the same trend. This could be one of those reasons, like it's down. Like Gen Z is like, we don't need this. I'm going to play Doom, hang around with my friends, do some like internet shit. There you go.
Adolescence has plummeted by 50%. And even in countries like Germany or France, where beer and wine have always been part of the cultural DNA, alcohol consumption is falling. And that's a victory. Fewer accidents, fewer hospital beds filled, fewer lives quietly derailed. But at the same time, other things have been...
What about marijuana? That's it. I don't even know if I can say that. That got legal in USA. Did they substitute that for this? Did they substitute something else? That's a question, right? Everywhere. Vape was a thing. Like, that could be the thing.
Been falling too. The share of young people who see their friends almost every day has plummeted by 50%. Attendance at parties has fallen by 30%. Dating and casual sex have fallen by a similar amount. All while loneliness and mental health issues have skyrocketed.
A lot of this has to do with social media and internet in general. People seeing certain fucked up people in social media and just not bothering with the relationship. Even though most people are not like that, but they get this warped reality that these extreme few people are how everybody is, and I don't want to bother with asking a girl out because she'll just laugh at me type of shit because I saw that video on Instagram or TikTok. Extreme minority, man. There was a video on TikTok of like just on her phone, like, okay, you taking me this Subway or whatever, and not some 5-star hotel for food, just demanding that shit while live streaming, and that guy's like, I'm gonna take you home. Of course he's gonna say that. But people see this shit like, this is how everybody is. Oh, I don't wanna, oh my god, everybody has phone. What if I say something wrong and then I'm cancelled tomorrow? This is extreme minorities, man, but people don't realize that. So that could be reason, not alcohol.
It. There are many different reasons for this, from COVID to social media. But the shift in which drugs we consume is probably not totally unrelated either. Drugs like weed have gained ground massively, and in contrast to drinking, smoking weed tends to make many people less energetic and likely to do things, more socially awkward, and especially if you use a lot of it, more lonely.
Okay, I've never done that either. Again, like as the closest thing I came to anything like this is because of injury, tramadol. I didn't like that one either because it made me too happy. And like certain way, like let's do something. I'm happy. Okay, let's go ride a bike and watch sunset and like film shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do today so that I'm so happy? I didn't like that. When I'm not earned something, I don't like that. So I don't like that either. But it's the closest thing I ever done to doing any shit like this. Is this like weed similar way? Does they make you so happy and just calm, and voices in your head and anxieties? No voices in your head as like I'm crazy or something. General voices in your head. Small things, right? Self-criticism and everything. That goes down. Anxiety goes down. Does weed does the similar thing? I don't know. Like if any of you do this, comment down. If any of you done like pain things and weed, do they have similar effect? Comment down because I'm genuinely interested in like how does that work? Usually weed is like very safe when studies have done. Nobody knows long term, but I think it's really safe, right? So I don't know.
Alcohol has been a powerful and influential tool for sharing, celebrating, and enjoying life with others for thousands of years. If the West is on the path to drinking less, we might also be on the path to something completely new. A future where we connect and rejoice without a poisonous chemical crutch, or at least without this specific one. It's up to us to figure out what comes next. There are so many.
There you go, people. Yeah, but go to original video page link, and from this support this channel because that is awesome. Yeah, like alcohol is really fucked up. Like it's one of those slow killers. That's why it's accepted and people like use. This is the same thing. Deleting yourself is illegal. But if you do that by eating sugar, getting obese, or like drinking alcohol or something like that, people don't give a shit. It's like, can we decide where we value human life or not? Like, I don't get it. Like, if it's slow, you don't care. Like, people are accepting. That doesn't make sense. Even like this, like, pro-food people, like, eat something. People say, like, what the fuck are you talking about, eat something? If somebody is going through, like, like, what is it called? Anorexia? I don't know. Somebody who's, like, doesn't eat and has this not eating disorder where their, like, bones are showing. Yeah, sure. Tell that to people. But somebody who's, like, decently, like, 20% body fat percentage, you, like, eat something. What you talking about? I don't know, this is just fucked up. And yeah, I think the worst thing of all this is basically pain things that I'm talking about. What I was talking about was tramadol, which is like kinda like touching that category, but it's very low powered. There are like 10 other things that are on top of it, more than 10, before you reach absolute top one, which is fucked up. Kurzgesagt made a video about that recently as well. Fentanyl, right? I don't know why I'm saying this. Yeah, so these are really fucked up things. It's the worst thing. Like Kurt Angle was talking about once, like he had to go to rehab, and that was so fucked up. It's the worst thing he ever does, to have ever experienced. And this guy went through broken necks and God knows what. This is a wrestler, WWE wrestler and amateur wrestler, who are known to be hard, strong, and go through really fucked up shit. And he's like, I don't want to go through that rehab thing again, so I'm not touching that. That's how fucked up addiction to that is, right? So you should never touch those things. That's just worse. Like this is a slow killer, but that will fuck you up properly. So the pain thing you should never touch, right? Like I took it for pain, but I don't touch it because I didn't like it. I didn't like why it was making me so happy. Like, I'm one of those people. Why the fuck are you so happy? What the fuck did you do? Did you help somebody? No, shut the fuck up then. That type of thing. So I didn't like that shit. Alright, well, that was Alcohol is Amazing. My channel Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. If you like my next channel, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.